components, props, state. Yesterday, I did an application which explain state, components, and props, including the Tailwind CSS. We have done a simple app. I recommend people to try every day their own tasks. How many of you tried yesterday task? I'm asking tried. Good, good, nice down. The remaining people also please try it every day as possible, including the online ones. The more you try, the more easy it will become. We will know some other topics, somewhat in depth of components, in depth of props, like prop drilling, context APIs. And we will see it like in depth of state, how to manage states, like Redux. And we will see it like how to use different hooks, routings, forms. Okay. But pillars are these four: components, props, state, and the APIs. Today you will discuss, you will understand what is an API, how does an API works, how to get real-time data from backend. Yesterday I did one basic shop one. In my application, whatever I did the shop one yesterday, I put the products details. I kept the product details in product from internet. I just got some kind of dummy details. These products are dummy details. But imagine my details are in backend. My details are in database connected to backend. From database, I want to get the details. And my details, when I submitted something, should go to the backend. These kind of things I will do it using the APIs. How does APIs works and all the things we will discuss today. Is it clear, ma? Online, is it clear, sir? Good. Very good. Now, before I go further, if anyone have any links to show, yesterday one, does anyone create a link? Yesterday you all did task, na? Anyone have any link to show? A quick recap. Oh, you guys are not creating links, sir. You all are creating app only in your system. Try to put that one build npm run build. You will get a dist folder. What you will get, ma? Dist folder. And you have to upload this dist folder to Netlify. What you have to upload? Netlify. One day, mostly this Saturday, I will show you how to do it GitHub and how to push it from GitHub. Okay. Now, anyway, in online, some people done. Okay. So let's see. Good. Someone did for Pokemon. Looking quite interesting. See, Pokemon cards. Price 120. Very good. Add to cart. If I click add to cart, see it is getting it cart value 1, cart value 2. I love this animation of Pokemon ball rotating. Nice idea. We all love Pokemon. Someone did it like a Mintra. You can see it. The exact Mintra logo. And like the fake store API only, in that they added the KTM bikes also. They changed the header. Okay, remaining is the my CSS only. They changed colors with this one. Beautiful. Any other? Someone gave manga gallery. Let's go here. Mangas. So good. One Piece, Naruto. Perfect. If you see here, how does someone do this? All three application. People first divide the whole website into chota parts. People just divide the whole site into parts. This is the site, and this is called header, and these all are products. Each one is product. Like this, you divide, na? This divided small parts are called components. Same like house is built with bricks, website is built with components. UI is built with components. That's why they say definition components are building blocks of UI. Okay. What is the main use of components? Reusability. Let's have a quick recap of everything we discussed till now. I think somewhere the React.js is there. Let's go here. Let's have it a slideshow. Now, I hope online can see. Online, can you see, Ma? Yes, thank you. Okay. If you wanna learn the React, basically, first you need to know basics of React. Okay, basics of JavaScript. In JavaScript, I recommend people to know variables, let var const. I want people to know functions. I want people to know basic things like map for each. I want people to know modules. Modules is like import and export. If you don't know these things, you can't learn. Today, I will teach you this asynchronous JavaScript fetch promises. If you know this much, हो गया तुम्हारा JavaScript. This much knowledge of JavaScript is enough for me. And in industry, most of the industry, even though we have Angular, we have Vue, we have so many other things, the React is popular. If you see the most of the industry is filled with React. You know why? Because React is easy. You think about it, like every day we are doing chota chota projects. Okay, now you guys at least had a basic idea now what is React. Imagine if you do the same things, tasks in another kind of 2 weeks. हो गया तुम्हारा React. If real person sits for 2 3 days, if constantly he is learning from morning to evening, 1 week is more than enough to learn React. That much easy it is. And the most people think the React and React Native are same. Actually not. React is used for web applications and React Native is used for mobile. Both are used for different purposes. Now, next, what is React? We discussed React is like a JavaScript library. Okay, it's written as framework. Actually, it's a library. It is used for front-end web development. Okay, before React, people used to use something called jQuery. Anyone knows this jQuery? Heard of this before? jQuery heard? This is one of the popular JavaScript library back then. Before React came, people used to mad about it. Like for example, when I used to get the job, like when we completed our graduation, jQuery is the popular one. People used to ask, if you don't know jQuery, we don't give like job. Like jQuery is a mandatory. Same like how React is there. Every website used to build with the jQuery only at the time. React replaced it completely. What is the main advantage of React? Is it is implements the virtual DOM. It implements the virtual DOM. I think you know what is virtual DOM when I explain state. Virtual DOM is a temporary memory where React copies your code into two parts where before the change and after the change and compares them so that it will know exactly where the change happened and only that particular change it will do it in the real DOM. Right, sir? React is created and developed by the Meta, and in React, mainly people think about how the state works, and Next, we will do it like different actions, like how the events handles and all. Then we will do it like the template codes, routings. Today we will do these data fetching and all. Okay. Now let's start here. Go to this. Now let's go to the Act one. Now let's discuss APIs. Okay. Now you guys tell me, what is API? You guys heard of this, sir? What is API, sir? Application programming interface. Interface is the bridge between is the bridge between client and server of the application. It is the bridge between client and server of the application. If you see, every application contains two things. One is client, another one is server, which is called client server model. The most people famously know it. Client, also the front end, and server, also the back end. In normal application, client represents UI, client represents the UI or presentation. What you see, what you see will be there in the client. But what is the logic? Our business logic is inside the backend or server. To build this client, you use HTML, CSS, JavaScript, or React, or Angular, or kuch bhi. But if you are going for this business logic, you use Python to make Python easy. To make Python easy, you use Django or Flask. Front end is JavaScript. To make JavaScript easy, we use React, na? Right or not? JavaScript writing big code is difficult. So React makes it easy. Same way, Python writing big thing is difficult. Django makes it easy, or Flask makes it easy, or Fast API makes it easy. Those are the frameworks of Python. But how does this front end connects to the backend? This front end connects to the backend using API. Both the transactions happened because of API. Client requests the server, and server will respond to the client. And this response and the request happens because of the API. Who creates this API? The server creates the API. Who creates the API? Server creates the API. Now, sir, in application, one more thing is needed: database. Can anyone guess where the database is connected to, client or server? Server. You cannot directly connect database to client. That is not good. That is not possible even. React, sir, how to put a database to React? You cannot. React cannot have database. Python can have database. because Python is secured. No one can able to see inspect and Python code. Python is secured. So Python connected to database, React connected to Python. Are you getting my point, ma? DB. Some kind of drivers will be there, like PyMongo, or for MySQL, you have some kind of drivers packages. Based on that, you will do. Now, same way, let's go with something more interesting. Imagine I go to one restaurant. Imagine I go to one restaurant. In this restaurant is like the application. In this restaurant, I want some biryani. I go to the restaurant. Okay. Who prepares the biryani? Chef prepares. Correct. Who prepares the biryani? Chef. Will I go to chef and ask biryani? Will I go to chef and ask biryani, ma? No. I will ask the bearer. I will ask the server. I will ask the reception or whatever the people. I will ask those people. Those people, the server, those people will go to the chef and will tell it like someone wants biryani. The chef will prepare the biryani using ingredients, right or not? And the chef will give it to the waiter, and the waiter will give it to me, right or not? Is it clear, ma? The same way, when we want, okay, you are client and you want some details like biryani, and you ask the waiter. Waiter is the mediator, that is the API, and the waiter asks the chef. Actually, the one prepares is chef. Chef is the server or backend, and he prepares it using the kitchen, whatever the things, right? That is DB. Okay, the cutlery or whatever the ingredients are the DB. Online, are you getting my point, ma? So in full stack project, always front end request and the back end response. Front end cannot directly talk to back end cannot directly talk to the front end, and middle they will put the API. Who will appoint this waiter? Do you appoint the waiter, sir? Do you know who is that waiter? Do you appoint them? Do you maintain them? No. Restaurant people will do that. The back end people will do that. Right or not? Back end only will put the waiters. Back end only will take care of the chef. Right? Back end take care of this all. Front end ka kaam, sir? Just go and order. Front end ka kaam is just go to the restaurant. If I know address of the restaurant, I will go, order, and I will pay. Simple. Is it clear, ma, online? So, Zango people, actually, you are Zango people. Okay? Zango people creates the APIs. I recommend people to draw this, okay, in a nice way. Zango people creates the APIs, and those APIs are called actually REST APIs. Okay, I will give you the notes first, the REST APIs and all. Then we will move. If anyone knows fetch and promises, they already know this. Okay, but still a quick recap. Online also just quickly draw it, ma, so that we will move forward. Online is done. Is your Django is over? That means you know how to create a web APIs, na? REST APIs? Ah, that's perfect then. If your Django is over, all you know is how to create the REST APIs. To the people who already completed knows this. Same time two classes are there. Correct. Yeah, that's a problem from starting actually. Okay, ma? Now, if I go here, let's have it. In client server model, client requests the server, requests the server, and server responds to the client using APIs. Client requests the server and server responds to the client using APIs. The most used APIs in web development are REST APIs, REST APIs, RESTful APIs. Some people call it as RESTful APIs. What is this REST APIs? They send the data, they send and receive the data in JSON format. In JSON format. Do you guys know JSON format, sir? JavaScript object notation. They send the data and receive the data in JSON format. Sorry, JSON format. Correct. JavaScript object notation format. Format. Example, how it will send the data or receive the data. Something like this. It will say key, comma, key and value. It will have something called key and value. Okay, where both will be in kind of string format, including the key is in string format. Okay, that format is basically the JSON one. It may be array of objects, it may be object of arrays, it may be object of objects or array of arrays. It can be any combination. Next, how it possible? I didn't understand, ma. Next, now how to call an API to call or get data from API. We can use fetch. Sir, I can use fetch. Fetch is a default method. Is Fetch is the default method provided by browser browser to request the data from server. Okay, now the basic syntax is fetch. You will have URL or endpoint, and you will have the options such as like post request or put request or get request or whatever the other requests are there. Same way, you can also use Axios. Axios is a is the third party library which can be used instead of fetch. Fetch is by default the browser method. You don't need to import anything. Directly you can use fetch, it will work because by default browser will give you. Anyway, your code will run in browser only. But Axios is a third party one. If you wanna use Axios, you need to import it. You need to install npm install Axios, and you need to write it here, import Axios from Axios, and then you need to write Axios dot method get or post or put or delete, and the URL comma options. This is how the syntax works. Online, if you have any question, you can mention it, sir. Now, but interestingly, sir, does the fetch and Axios directly give you data, sir? Does fetch will you return directly data? Does Axios will directly return the data? No, they don't directly return the data. Instead, okay, the fetch or Axios, the fetch or Axios are asynchronous functions, so that they return promises. Asynchronous function is state is also asynchronous function actually. Asynchronous functions will take some time to run. They don't complete immediately. So instead of running it, what it will give you, that asynchronous functions will return promises. This promises can be resolved. This promises can be resolved by using async await, or sorry, by using then catch or async await. You can use async await or then catch. Which is best, Axios or fetch? Fetch is the best. Okay, but Axios is simple. That's the difference. People will use then and catch and async await. Same way, async await is a modern one and a simple one. I will give you syntaxes. Syntax is very simple. If I give fetch URL comma options, and whatever the answer I got, I need to write dot then I will get one response, and then I have to convert this response into JSON, and again then I will get here data, and I can print the data. This is one way called promises, then and catch. I can write catch if any error happens. Now, what is difference between using them? Sir, they work the same way. They work the same way. Whether you use Axios or Fetch, they work the same way. Fetch is the best one. Why? Because Fetch is default. Axios works easy. It's like the third party library. It's like how you implement them is different, but how they work are same. Okay, whichever you feel easy, you can use it. There is no complexion. Like some people use this, some people use that. Same way, async await is also there. Some people uses the same syntax, whatever the above one. Sir, I don't wanna write then catch. I don't understand this dot then. Then people will use some kind of asynchronous one. Async function, some function name. Inside, they will write the same logic. Const res equals to await fetch URL comma options const data equals to await res.json and console.log data. We can even use try catch for error handling. For error handling, we can use try catch. I thought you all done at least one time this na. You all did one time at least what is then catch or async await na online. If anyone not have a single idea on this, you can tell me, sir. I hope you all know at least one time. Yes. Now, the Suraj said no. No, sir, new to this. No worry, ma. If you are new to this, no worries. People use then catch or async await to get the data. And these are the syntaxes. Okay. Now, how they work? Very simple. If you give any URL here, in this URL, backend people will put the data. Backend will create one REST API. REST API is nothing but endpoint. The one URL will give. So, for example, you are backend people, Python people. I am front end guy. So, you guys will give me one URL. You will give me like same like yesterday, fake store API slash products. You will give me that URL. In that data is there, na? Like this, you will get the data in one URL and you will give me that URL. I will put that URL and I will use fetch. And what I want get request or post request or put request, I will put it in options. Then whatever the data, do you think I will directly get the data? No. Why? Because, sir, system has to go, the program has to go to backend, get the data, and show it in front end. It will take some time, na? That is why it will give you promise. What it will give, ma? Promise. In that promise, it will say, if promise is successful, it will go to then. If promise is failed, it will go to catch. Imagine promise is successful. Whatever the data you will get it from the promise, whatever the data you get from the promise, it will go to response. And again, the data will be converted into JSON. Again, converting JSON will take some time, so it will be another promise. And after converting whole JSON, it will come to data, and the data it will print. Same thing happen here also. But instead of saying it like, if the promise is successful, I will go to then. If it is failed, it will go to catch. Async await is like, I will wait until that is successful, and whenever it is successful, whenever this one is successful, automatically it will get to rest. Whenever this response.json is successful, it will go to data. Then catch is a non-linear way. Async await is a linear way, straight line. You will understand easily. Mostly in our program, we use async await only. Clear, ma? Online, any doubts, sir? No. Clear. Good. Now, next one, sir. Next one. Now, after this, how to handle handle APIs in React? How do you handle APIs in React? To handle APIs, or the side effects, the side effects, people call it as side effects because they change the data every time, or the side effects. We use we use a hook called use effect. We use a hook called use effect. Sir, how do you handle state in React? Use state. How do you handle APIs? Use effect. Perfect. Now, use effect, use effect, use effect. The syntax is use effect is you first we will do use effect is used whenever whenever the dynamic data is fetching from server, or or any any asynchronous functions, not synchronous, any asynchronous functions need to be handled. Now, The syntax is use effect contains two arguments. First one is a asynchronous function. You will write one function. You can write normal function also. Inside this, you will write code. And second one is dependence array. Dependency array. Dependency array. Dependency array. Use effect. Use effect works works in all stages of application, or sorry, all stages of component life cycle. What is component life cycle? Component contains three life cycles actually: mounting, updating, and unmounting. Every component contains three life stages. Like, for example, what are life cycles for us? We have different stages of our life. We born, first we crawl like a baby. Okay. Then we are baby toddlers. Then we are children's. Then we are teenage, middle age, young middle age, or old age, right? We have different things now in our different stages now in our life. Same way, component have three things. First one is mounting. Mounting means starting of the application. The moment your application loaded, first time whenever application loaded, use effect automatically will call. Whenever application loaded, use effect automatically called. Second one, updating. Whenever you update, sir, I told you, if you remember yesterday, whenever I click that plus button, one is changing, zero is changing from one to three, state is changing. Whenever state is changed, component will re-render na? Every time something re-renders, if the dependency is there, if the dependency is there, then it will work. And unmounting. Unmounting means whenever you are leaving from one component to another component. For example, website is having home page, about page, contact page. I open home page. Home component will come na? When I go to about page, is home component is coming? No, home component is dying. About component is rendering. So the dying of the component, dying means like you are leaving that component and going to another component. That is unmounting. Same like birth, update, death. In all stages, actually use effect will work. Are you getting my point, ma? Online, are you getting my point? Dependency array. Here, three chances are there. Very important. Okay. Different cases, different cases of dependencies. Dependency array. Now, first one. If there is no dependency array, there is no dependency array, then use effect will work, will will work at mounting stage, mounting stage, and updating of updating of any state, any state, updating of any state automatically it will work. If I put dependency array, sir, if there is no dependency array, it will work at starting. Anyway, it will work at starting. If you change anything in website, automatically it will call one more time. Now, imagine, sir, imagine, sir, in use effect, I write this use effect, sir. I write here use effect, and inside this use effect, I write some logic for fetching, okay, something back, some URL, some backend data I'm getting, okay. And did you see? Did I put any? Did I put any dependency array? See there? Did I put any dependency array? No. Now in your website, you change anything. You click add to cart. You click +1. You click -1. You change anything. The moment you change something, sir, the moment you change something, sir, automatically use effect will work one more time and it will call the fetch. Every time you change, every time fetch will call. This is not good in most cases. If there is no dependency array, every time you change, it will call. If there is a dependency array empty, imagine you put empty dependency array. Is there anything inside the array, sir? No. If dependency array is empty, that means it will call only first time. Whenever application loaded, it will call. But after that, it will never call. First time whenever application loaded, it will call. After that, you change any one state, it will not call because it is not depending on anyone. It is not depending on anyone. If I put inside this count, one variable is there. That means, sir, it will call mounting, and only if count changes, it will call. Are you getting my point, sir? Sir, if there is no dependency array, sir, it will call for any one change, sir. Okay. If empty dependency is there, sir, it will not call for anyone, sir. But if only some variable is there, if that variable changes only, it will call. Else, it will not call. Is it clear? You never call the use effect. They will be called automatically at different life cycles. Are you getting my point, ma online? Online, are you getting my point? If if the dependency array is empty, is empty, then use effect, use effect will work only at mounting stage. Mounting stage. Third one, if the dependency array, the dependency array contains some values, the use effect will work at mounting and and state updating the state, updating the state of only those values, those values. Major use cases. What are the major use cases, sir? Cases are fetching the data, timers, you know timers, set timeout, set interval, You can use them because they are asynchronous. Set timeout or set interval. Or if I want to update the DOM, updating DOM, updating the DOM, direct DOM if I want to update. If empty will call only single time. Correct, sir. Correct, correct, sir. Now, let's start, sir. Let's do one simple application. Okay. Tomorrow we'll do big application. Today we are understanding. I will give you something as Spark, and tomorrow we'll do it like complete a big application of API. Online, please note it down, sir. Any questions till now? Online, anyone have any questions, sir? No. What is mounting? Mounting means starting. When application started, the moment application loaded, they call render. The moment application rendered first time in your UI is called mounting. Okay, good. Now let's start application, sir. npm create white @latest. I will start here. Basic API. I started the basic API. React, JavaScript. No. Yes. हो गया. What if API failed? Then error message show. That is also inside this only. I will use the try catch. I will show you in project. If API fail, I will use the try catch. If you see it like in async await, I wrote it. Okay, try catch exception. I will do it. Now application started, sir. I will go here, sir. Basic API. See here, and I am directly going into app.jsx because most people already know what is this. I'm directly shifting into the app.jsx, sir. The entry point is index.html. Index.html connected to main.jsx. Main.jsx render app.jsx into index.html. So ultimately, what is coming there is app.jsx. Clear now, everyone? Now, go here. Function app. Now, export default app. If I go here, return, I will have it here, div, and I can see it. Any doubts here, ma online? Online, any doubts? No. Sir, I will just add Tailwind. I love to use Tailwind for every application. Tailwind is the easiest one. I recommend people to try it every time. So I'm going to the app, basic API, quickly. How do you use Tailwind? I recommend people to go to the website and read it for first few times. Okay. Because I did multiple times, sometimes I remember it. npm install Tailwind CSS, Tailwind CSS, @tailwind css/wit. I installed the both. Then once they are installed, I will go to the config file. Why they are taking time? Now I will go to the wit config. I will write it here, import tailwind css from @tailwind css slash wit, and use that tailwind css here, tailwind css, and go to the main css file and write it here, import tailwind css, sorry, @import. These are the three steps of tailwind css. Okay, if you do it like line by line also fine. Already I gave instructions for how to do it tailwind, and in online also it's available, not a big deal. Okay, and you need to have one extension, sir, which will give you suggestions. Okay, now let's have it here, header, class name. Sometimes suggestions will not work. Go to extensions, intelligence. See what happens is this extensions, one extension kind of repels the other extensions. At the time, go here, disable and enable and come. It will work. Okay. Still not working. Oh, coming. BG. Uh, Gray and text white text 3XL text center PY 5 or 3 basic API. Same thing. Control C. Here footer and text 2XL PY 2 application made with uh, what is this? Why it is not coming? Yeah, art by press. हो गया. Now, how do you put this main thing, sir? I will take it here main only. Now, sir, in online there are so many free APIs are there. How to use gradients? You can actually use gradients also. Linear. There is something called. Okay. Instead of this. Now, if I go here, go to the internet. Now, free APIs. If you type, you will get lot of APIs. Okay. You can actually see there are so many APIs which are called. These are called public APIs. Okay. Now I am taking one of the API called um, which one I can take? Uh, dummy JSON. There is an API called dummy JSON APIs. If I go here, free JSON APIs are there. I will go to the docs and they are telling it so many APIs are there free. I will take something called recipes. If I click here, it is giving me all the recipes. See, if I go to this link, they are telling if you go to this link, you will get all the recipes. So copy. Let me check here. Will I get it or not? See, if I go to this link, all the recipes are coming. Who create this link? Backend people will create this link. This is called endpoint. The slash recipes is the endpoint. Now, someone gave me this URL. Now I want to get the data. Sir, what I want? This whole data, I don't copy paste. This whole data I want to get in my thing. Without copy pasting, I want to get this data there. Okay, using this link. So in some link, some data is there. That data I want it here. How do you get it? Now, for this, I recommend importing use effect. Use effect. Also, sir, you got the data. The data you wanna store somewhere, na? The data you have to store somewhere, na? To store the data, I will import something called use state. Use state. First, get the data. Const data where you store, sir. I will store data, comma set data equals to use state. What is the default? What is the default value of data? Empty array. If I print default, if I print the data, what it will print, sir? Empty, na? If I print the data, sir, it will print empty, sir. It will not print anything. Okay. Now I want to get the data. For that, you need to write use effect. What you will write? Use. In this use effect, I'm using here this comma. Now I'm giving empty array. You know what is this empty array means? Dependency array is empty. You can see it. If dependency array is empty, what it will happen? Only it will call it mounting stage. That means whenever your application started, it will call. Okay, understand this thing. It will call this one. It will call this one before even print this. Before even print the UI, first it will call this automatically. That is called mounting stage at the time of the birth. Now let's go here. Inside this, I'm gonna use den and catch. Tomorrow we will use async await. Okay, we will use all. Fetch. What is the URL, sir? This is the URL, sir. And if I get the data, then how do I get the data? Whatever the response you got, convert this response into JSON, same format if you see. And then whatever the data you will get, or whatever the answer you got, this answer, you can print the answer, console.log answer. And if you got errors, show them error, console.log error. हो गया. Now if I go to my application, sir, I will go to the application, sir. Where is my application? Huh? Localhost 5173. Huh? Why this one is running? Where it is running my application? 517473 something other is running for me. Okay, you see here. But if you go to the console, inspect console, let's refresh it again. Can you see I got the data, sir? Can you see I got the data? In this data, limit is there. In this data, recipes is there. In this data, skip is there. In this data, total is there. Where is my array? Where are my recipes array? Inside the recipes. In this, all the recipes are there. Right or not? Online, are you getting my point, ma? So, this data is in some link, and to get the data, instead of copy pasting there, I got the whole data using this use effect. Did I call use effect? Did I call anything? No. Use effect will be called automatically at mounting stage. Mounting stage means whenever your application loaded, automatically it called. That is why you got the API details now. Sir, but where you are printing this details? In console, na? Do I want them in console, sir? No, I want to print them. So to print them, I need to put this data. I need to put this data inside the data. I need to put this answer into data. How do you put that, sir? Anyone tell me, how do you put this answers into the data? Come on, how do you update the state value? Bulgaya. A count value is there, 0. How do you update count value 0 to 1? Set count, na? Right or not? Same way, how do you update data? Set data. Barabar. So if I give here, if I give here set data, if I give here set data automatically, sir. Now what is happening? Data originally what is data value? Empty array. But now what is happening? This answer is coming to data. Now data will become answer. What in answer? What is there? So many arrays is there. Now if I go, I wanna print them. How do you print them, sir? Go down. Inside this, class name, margin y5, max width 5xl, margin auto, margin x auto, and display grid, and in medium device, in small devices, grid template columns 1, in medium devices, grid columns 2, in large devices, grid columns 3, and inside this I want to print them. How do you print them? Sir, I want to print data, na? Where is the array? Where is array? Array is not inside data. If you just now saw, na? Inside the data, sir, there is something called receipts. Inside that receipt, array is there, right or not? Wherever array is there, how do you print array data? How do you print array data, sir? Map. What you will print? Map. And every time element is R I'm taking. You can take anything. R. Again, div. I'm using everything in single only without creating multiple components. Div. Class name. Padding 5. Flux. Flux call. Uh, justify between. Good. Rounded to Excel. Shadow. Shadow. This. Now, next one, sir. Inside this, what you wanna print? For every, if you see the array, you go here, sir. If you see, everyone see this array? Inside this array, each one, first time, if you, everyone see? Inside the data, inside the receipts array, every time what you are having calorie per serving, cook time minutes, cuisine, or difficulty, ID, image, ingredients, instructions, meal type, name. I wanna take name of the image, name of the recipe, and image I wanna put the image of the recipe, and name, image. Which one I can put, sir? More? Huh? Rating is good. I will use rating one. Okay. So let's go here. How do you put image? Image src, and inside this src, How do you put r dot image, and here r dot title. Title, what is the name? Name or title? Name. Name, r dot name, h2 r dot name, and paragraph rating r dot rating by 5. हो गया. Now let's go here. Let's stop the server, run it one more time. npm run dev. Huh? Sorry, I have to go to folder na. cd basic API, then npm run dev. Let's refresh. Error occurred in component. Cannot read the properties of undefined map. Oh, you know why? Because first time data is empty na. Okay. Until that is empty, it will not work. So I will say it like, if data is not empty, only then only it will work. Data, and it's a logical AND operator. Then it will work. Huh? Why? Is the name is wrong? RECIPES. RECIPS. Correct only. Set data ANS. Then data value will become that only. Hmm. It seems silly. Log data. Let me check it here. Why it is saying it? Refresh. I asked it to print. Okay, see. The problem is like, it is taking it here initially empty, then it is containing it like the complete receipts. Correct only na? Okay, so it is taking this value also. Data. Now if I give data and logical end is like, both should be true, then only it will work. Oh, in this case also it is working. Okay, I will give one condition. If data is not equals to empty array, I will give one condition. Uh, how can we say this one? Initial rendering. It should work now. Hmm. How can we go? In all the cases, it is coming. It should not come this way. You cannot put directly if there. That is not a good one. Okay, we'll see it. I can use ternary operator actually. Okay, so today today's task, open your JavaScript once. You don't need to do project today. Just check in JavaScript and Django. To the people who's not completed Django also, type it in internet how to create REST API using Django. Okay. And to the people who already completed, create a REST API using Django and see in JavaScript what is fetch, what is async await, what is uh, you know uh, then catch, these things. Tomorrow I will just fix this and I will do the major project also using the APIs. Tomorrow we'll do one more project where I will have API, state, component, prop. Four. Are you getting my point, ma? Like this, we will build together. When we do final project, we will complete all the topics in that. Okay? That's it for today. Thank you all. Online, any questions you can tell me, sir? The notes will be shared with the GitHub. You can see it in GitHub. The notes will be available. Online, any doubts you can tell me, ma? Sure, ma Ansari. Just check it today in your best. Okay? Before I explain again tomorrow, just check it from your end. Okay? Yeah. Sir, I'm forgotten JavaScript. Then revise it. Just go to the JavaScript one, just to revise it once. Okay, today just revise. Okay.